TNA. The reboot. I have to call it that because it's the best way to call it. We basically got a reboot of TNA for certain things that's going on. Let's make this very clear. There are certain things here that are a reboot for many people. A restart. A re-beginning or a new beginning for them. It is a reboot for TNA and for the people in it. Let's open. We get Carlos Silva opening the show with Tom and Matthew. And I'm like, why is he doing that? He makes me think of Tony Khan. I don't hate Carlos Silva. I don't know if he's a good guy, but I don't really care. The way Carlos Silva is acting, he's acting no better than Tony Khan. He just is. He's acting like that. Look, let's make this clear. If you like Carlos, cool. But let me ask you, does he need to get into the ring to hand the title over to anyone who's getting it? No. Does he need to be on screen? No. Now, mind you, going from TNA to NXT, I can understand that. Him going over to NXT when there's a title match from TNA, I have no problem with. But him being there for everything else, I do have a problem. I just don't accept it. I don't like seeing him there. I understand when he has to go over there, not Santino, him. But I just don't feel like it's necessary. I just do not. But it's just me, you guys tell me below. First match, Moose versus Cedric Alexander. A rematch for these two. Now, I'm going to tell you this. Particularly what happened at the end of the show with the system. I've always had no problem seeing Alicia Edwards being Moose's handler. I've actually been happy seeing Alicia Edwards being the manager for any of the members of the system. I think that is the best role for her. Not because she's a terrible wrestler, but she is a heater. Whether you think she's a not very good looking woman, or you think she's drop dead gorgeous, she is a heater, and she makes the best sense having her there, and it helped. And of course, it's something I did not expect. I did not expect Cedric Alexander to win. I thought it was going to be Moose. But Cedric did win. Now, mind you, it doesn't really matter who wins due to the fact that when Leon Slater comes back, he's going to have a match against both of them. Now, mind you, I don't know who's going to win and could get the title from him. But both of them are going to get a title match from him. And both of them had to do something until he's able to come back into the country. Because remember, visa problems are happening in Europe. Well, the UK mainly. But with the storm that's about to hit the United States, well, let me give you like this. If you're in the Midwest, you got a lot of rain and extreme amount of cold and snow. If you're in the East like me, you're going to get extremely cold and a good amount of snow. Not an extreme amount. But still, it's going to fuck up your day. And Leon's got to come into the country eventually once the visa's straightened out. It's not him. It's just a problem in the UK with visas. It's a mess. So they got to do something. Next, we get M versus Indy Hartwell. Now, we've been seeing Mr. Elegance there, and Ash is with them. And the match itself was alright. I'm going to tell you this. When you look at M, she looks like a very skinny woman with no boobs, look like she's wearing not pasties, but basically she's wearing pads to try and make her titties look bigger than they are. I actually like M. She's pretty. And she does have a decent amount of personality. Not the personality here, but the personality here. She doesn't seem to have a bad way that she speaks, and she looks like she could be fun. Could be. Doesn't mean she is, just could be. Maybe it's because I think she's kind of cute, even though she has no tits. But there might be something to her if they push her, so I'm not sure about that yet. They haven't really gone very far with her yet. The one who seems to be the best polished would be Heather, but they haven't pushed her either. It's always been Ash. And then you see Ash at ringside during this match. And when the match was over, Indy won. It was understandable. Indy is still much more popular than M. And she's been pushed a good amount between Indy Hartwell and Danny Luda. You got that clashing there, and since Danny is not there yet, because she should have already gone up against Ling Yang Lee and maybe won the title, maybe, because right now we can't know what the new plans are. There are no old plans. There's no way they're not going to redo the plans because Danny Luna is not there. Pretty much the doomsday device, or as I call her, is not there until they fix the visa problem in the UK, and I believe in Europe, but I think it's the UK. She's not going to be there, so they have to reorganize the entire thing. They just got to. But the thing here, after the match was over, and they were beaten down on Indy, Ash jumps into the ring, and from what I can tell from the match itself, Ash was acting like a good guy. She was saying, "What are you doing?" You actually saw M grab the concierge shoe and started hammering into Indy's foot. I believe it was her left foot that she literally was hammering it into. And Ash is telling, "What are you doing? Stop it. Actually do the damn match." And when the match is over, flat out over, Ash is trying to tell M and Heather, "Stop. Don't do this. Stop it. Do good things. This is not what I want you to do." And it's obvious there was some type of swerve, but I didn't think that Ash would do anything. Because as you guys know, Ash legitimately, this wasn't fake, she had to walk away from wrestling. Something was going on. Now, hang on a sec. Sorry about that. My battery was just flashing and was getting on my nerves. Let me give it like this. I want to make this very clear. I was right about the speculation with Trey Miguel, because I am going to talk about Feast and Fire in a few minutes. But I think right now what must have happened with Ash, this is my speculation. Speculating. I'm speculating here. I have no proof. I have no evidence. I have nothing. Just my point of view. After what we've seen, particularly how Ash look, her physical look, I think that Ash might have had the problem like Santana. That she noticed that she was having a problem. Possible drinking. Because as you know, drinking can age you. And my feeling, possibly, maybe she might have had a legitimate injury, but it was never specified what the issue was. Never. Ash legitimately walked away from wrestling. She had an issue. She said she needed to do something. She needed to walk away from wrestling. I think what might have happened to Ash, the actual woman, was that she might have had, and I still don't know if this is true, possibly a drinking problem. Or some other type of problem like drinking or drugging, something. And it was interfering with how she was working or how she was living when she wasn't working, and she had to walk away to do rehab. Yes, she did recordings and did what she needed to do, but I think when we didn't see her that long time, and when she made those recordings because she was looking with the Elegance brand for Mr. Elegant, they already had that mapped out. She did some recordings ahead of time, and then when she finally came back, remember, she didn't work with the Elegance brand at first. She did commentary, and then she disappeared, and then she went and worked with the Elegance brand next to doing a panel. I think she might have gone to rehab privately. She didn't want to make it public. She did it privately without anyone knowing. She got cleaned up and she came back. She just wanted to do it in private. This is what my speculation is. I got no proof, but the way she looked thinner, younger. That happens to people who used to drink. Like, look what happened to Moxley. Once you don't drink, you slim down, you become thinner. That's what I think has happened with her. She doesn't look aged now. She looks actually a bit younger. I could be wrong. You guys tell me below. But I think that's what happened to Ash, because once Ling Yang Lee came out and Zaya Brookside came out, and it looks like you're going to see a little bit Ash doing this and going like this. And then when Ling Yang Lee and Zaya came out, as they looked like and defend Ash, Ash nails Lee in the back of the head and pounds the living shit out of her. And she now is part of the Elegance brand again. Well, technically, she never left it. But in this case, she's now officially with them again. That means she can wrestle. Look what she did. She did a DDT on the champion. So now Ash is back. a reboot for her, a restarting of her life again as a wrestler if she had to walk away because of an issue which, my speculation again, could be that she was an alcoholic or some type of drugs and she went to clean herself up. This is just me. Next, when you see Ali, you think main eventer. And this is what I see. This is what I see from Mustafa Ali. I know he says Mustafa, I say Mustafa. He sounds cooler that way to me because I still love the Lion King. And even though Mufasa got his ass taken out by his brother, I still like him. This match was an okay match. It was the last match of the night. It was alright. And this is not about Ali per se. Eventually they got to do something with him. I truly believe that here in TNA he will get a better opportunity at either the international or the world title. He will never get in WWE. And AEW, forget it. I'm sorry. As much as you would love to see him in AEW, I think some people would, he would never get near that damn title because if you look at Pac, who is one of the most charismatic people there and one of the best wrestlers there, where's he done? The All-Atlantic, International, Trios titles. That's it. The guy should be a main eventer and they refuse to do it. Not because he has issues with visas, it's that they never think anything. So I'm saying maybe here you will see a Mustafa Ali as a champion, not just an X Division champion or international champion. I think he would be a chance for a world championship. I do believe that. But this wasn't about him. This was about the Righteous still messing with the Hardys. Because look what happened with Elijah. Elijah messed with Ali while he was having the match with Jeff. He lost the match. But at the end, before the system segment, we get this situation where they make it very clear that they are great, but they're not heavenly. So they're going to do something with the Righteous, still with the Hardys. I don't know what it is, but let's hope it's something interesting other than them going to the Hardy compound, which they've done multiple times before, and they do that segment there. Now, mind you, it's not a bad thing to see the Hardy compound use Mr. Benjamin seeing a little bit of Reva and their kids, but honestly, I want something new from the Hardys. Hopefully they will give it to us. Feast and Fire. Dude, I was right. It's already coming out. That is a very strong possibility that someone, supposedly, looking at the tweets from Trey Miguel, didn't like it and told Tony, supposedly, fire him. I don't believe that bullshit. Someone for AMC, bullshit. Someone from Anthem, not Anthem. I'm getting TNA and AEW mixed up. They say someone from the network didn't like Trey Miguel's tweets, and it's a very strong possibility that they went to Tony and said no. I said it myself. The speculation from that website about those two tweets, I did believe that was a strong possibility. And I was possibly right about someone in AEW, possibly, never know, MGF himself, or anyone else who is maybe trans, maybe a Nia Rose, possibly, or someone else that is on the staff of AEW, my guess it might have been a wrestler, told Tony, get rid of his ass. Don't want him here. And because, like I said, because of so much controversy AEW's had over the last couple of years, they didn't want to take the chance of having this situation. They just released him. But I gotta say this. As much as I still gripe on TNA, and I'm gonna gripe on them when they act stupid, I'm gonna commend them when they don't act stupid. And they allowed Trey Miguel to come back and re-sign with them. No questions asked, no problem. And he was in Feast and Fire. And who do we have in Feast and Fire? Eric Young, Skylar, Haunch, Trey Miguel himself, Brian Myers, Eddie Edwards, along with Moose, Ryan Nemitz, Hometown Man, um, Warner, AF, of course, you're going to do AJF. Of course, you're going to have to put in AJ Francis. So first person get a title. Now, mind you, you first had, who was the one who grabbed that title at first? I forgot who it was who first grabbed the title. I'm not sure who it was. But it was Eric Young who got the title first. That was the first, no, not title, briefcase. The first briefcase went to Eric Young. The second one went to Matlin. The fourth one went to Trey Miguel. And they openly stated on the channel, well, not the channel, well, yeah, it is on AMC, that he's resigned. I do not think he's getting the fired briefcase. It's just not going to happen. But then Eddie Edwards gets the third briefcase, which is great. And I believe one of them was for the international title, one was for the tag titles, and one, I could be wrong about the tag. I think it was the world title in one case, the X Division in another one, the international one in another one. I think. But I think it's the tag titles, the international title, and the X Division. I do not think it was the world title. I could be wrong, though. I could be wrong. It's hard to tell. It could be anything. And then the fired one. It's going to be interesting to see who gets it. Is it going to be Eric? Is it going to be Eddie? Or is it going to be Macklin? Because I do not think it's going to be Trey who's going to get the feast, who's going to get fired. I just don't see it. Now, let's go to Ariana Grace and Santino Marella. What do I believe has happened there? When she came in the room and started talking with Santino. And you have, of course, Sonya Deville. I can't remember her name right now, her actual name that she's using. I will eventually remember it. I know you're going to say, dude, it's this. I know, but I say this all the time. I'm bad with names. I tend to forget them until I see them enough times to remember. What is her name? I think it's Dora. I can't remember the last name. Dora Ray, I believe her name is. I think. You could tell me I'm wrong. I think her name is Dora Ray. Of course, it's Sonya Deville. It's her stage name. But you get what stage name? Her wrestling name. But you get my point. I tend to not always get the name right until I see them enough time and they're using it to lock it in my long-term memory. Short-term, I'm bad with names. Really enough, I'm always okay with everything else. And I can get it, but names, I just can never get it correctly. But Santino came in the ring. Well, saying the ring. You know what? It kind of felt like he was in the ring. Even though he was in a room with Ariana Grace. And she says, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Stax is the one who convinced me. And he gave her a hug. I have this feeling. This is what I think is going to happen. We're going to see eventually him getting attacked by Stax. And we're going to see a different angle in that room where you're going to see her as she's on the other side. Instead of going, she's going, that type of look. Where she's smiling, but the camera is recording. Someone had a camera in that room recording, and Santino did not see her on his shoulder. He thinks she's crying, but she's actually giggling. That's what I think is going to happen. That's just me. And let me give you this. The system. The reboot. We got Trey Miguel coming back to restart his life and TNA. We got Ash of Elegance, who seems to be now capable of wrestling again. And then we get the system. And I'm thinking, who is it going to be that's going to take the place of JDC? Now, of course, the best option would be someone more popular that came from outside, but it would be better to have someone who just came in. And it is Bear Bronson. Now, I know not many people are going to care about Bear Bronson, but Bear Bronson has worked with Brian Myers. I believe he came from his school. So it's someone that they know. So that's the reason why they did it. That's the reason why they picked him, because they know, because they trained him. I think Brian Myers trained him. And everything seemed to be all right. Until flat out, it was decided to get rid of Moose and get rid of JDC. Of course, JDC was finished. He's no longer wrestling anymore, but they whooped his ass along with Moose. Alicia didn't know what the hell was going on. She's screaming at Eddie, and this feels like a reboot. Remember the Kingdom, guys? Remember the Kingdom and Ride and Die before the system? First, we had the Kingdom with Eddie, and those guys were all there, and they were all just dominating that part of Impact Wrestling. Then everyone from the Kingdom left. Then it was Ride and Die with Eddie and Alicia, and then eventually that ended, and we got the system. Now we're getting a reboot, flipping back to the very beginnings of the system when they were heels again. And it's made very clear the system is not getting rid of one person, it's getting rid of two. We're getting rid of Moose, we're getting rid of you, and we beat the crap out of it. I didn't expect, this is what is getting me surprised. Cedric Alexander joined. I didn't expect him to join the system. I didn't expect it. Let's make it clear. Bear Bronson, I can understand he would go with Eddie, he would go with Brian, because he's been trained by one of them. But seeing Cedric Alexander join them, I didn't expect it. So now it's going to be Cedric Alexander's in a faction. And the question's going to be, what are they going to do with them? I don't know. The final thing I'm going to talk about, because I didn't forget, Elena Black. I'm going to call her Miss Black. Ms. Black. Let me give you like this. Do I believe Elena Black is going to make something? She's rebooted herself. She's had another chance to try and make something of herself in wrestling. Because she went away after she got injured, got those titties done, and they did nothing with her. Then she went to TNA for a little bit, then went away again, and now they brought her in and signed her. And let's make it very clear. As I said before, she could be a new Beautiful People. I think if the members of the Beautiful People came in, I would like to see, let's make this Angelina Love, Velvet Sky, one of them comes in and manages her for a little bit and make her a member of the Beautiful People and let the Beautiful People be rebooted with her as the leader of a new Beautiful People. They got women. You got Hudson, you got Gray, you got Steels. What is her name? Steels? No, Stone. You got Danny Luna. You got a whole bunch of women. You can remake the Beautiful People, and you could have her as the lead of it. Something, yes, it's old, but with a new twist to it. None of the Beautiful People are there, but you have a new person who has been basically groomed to take that spot. Do I believe they'll do that? Probably not. But I think she could get away with it if they went there. Do I believe she'll get somewhere? I do believe she'll stay for a while and she'll do pretty good with TNA. Because a knockout doesn't always mean you wrestle your ass off. It's also about how damn sexy you are. She got some nice fake titties. Look, I'm going to make this clear. I'm the type of person, it's not about if they're fake or real. It's about, are you going to let me touch them or not? Do you love me enough to let me touch them or not? Or are you horny enough to let me touch them or not? Let me touch them. I don't care. So do I care about nice pair of tits? Yeah. Are they fake? Yeah. Do I care? Hell no. So this is what we get with Elena Black. We get a very sexy woman with great pair of tits that has the attitude of someone that could become a knockout diva. And at this point, TNA doesn't need that. They need sex appeal. They need tits and ass. I'm sorry. It is part of what TNA is. It's not just total non-stop action. It's also tits and ass. And she does fit that bill. And that would help them in AMC. They got to cater to not just wrestling fans. They got to cater also to casuals. And casuals also want tits and ass. So this is it. And I hope you enjoyed this review of TNA. Please give me a comment below. I hope you enjoy this. Give me a like. Tell some people and your mom. Peace.